I think I'm live. I hope I'm live. Yep. All right, hello everybody. What's happening? Welcome back to another video. This is the match reaction of Real Madrid versus PSG. Los Merengues TV starts off with a comment saying, "Let me cover a few points here. No energy whatsoever. No Ramos, which implies defensive issues. They were the better team. Face it. Shouldn't really cover it up, saying injuries, but they had to." Yeah, look, Los Merengues TV. That's a good point. I have no energy. That's really. We knew it was going to come. We knew it was going to come, and it happened. We knew that these things were going to happen, but we hoped that they weren't going to happen, but they happened. They happened. And obviously, you talked about some of those points, Los Merengues TV. No energy whatsoever. Players just look very complacent. They're destitute of any, I would say, hunger. They don't want to. They just don't care. There's a lot of indifference. I feel like the players just don't care. There's some players that care, there's some players that don't, and that's just what it comes down to. Face it, they were the better team. Look, I didn't watch the whole thing, so I'm not able to give a good judgment on the thing. I wasn't able to watch the second half, barely anything. But what I did see, obviously, was the no energy, defensive issues. I saw that Varane, being Varane sometimes. Militao, I didn't see much Militao, but like I said, I didn't see much of the game, so I'm not being. I can't say I can't give a good judgment of the game, but I'll try to give a few points of what I saw here and there. Look, if Gareth Bale looks like the most threatening player up front in the first half, and what I have to say, this is a guy who we wanted to let go of, and now he looks like the most threatening player for us. We got serious problems there. Gabriel Monte says PSG played better as a team. They pressed better as a unit. I think that played in their favor that they didn't have Di Maria, that they didn't have Neymar, that they didn't have Cavani, and that they didn't have Mbappe. Yeah, seriously. Christian Guerrero says we lacked a lot of motivation. Yep. That's what I was seeing, and I think that's what a lot of people are gonna tend to say is that there was just a lack of motivation. We knew these things were gonna happen. These players are just bereft of hunger. They don't have any hunger whatsoever. They don't really care about the results. And it's not all the players, it's some of them. And another thing that I do want to say, obviously, that I said again before, is that Thibaut Courtois. Thibaut Courtois, do I need to say anymore? You look at the other side of the pitch, they have Keylor Navas. Why is Keylor Navas playing for PSG? And that bewilders me in a lot of different aspects. Is we started off the transfer window so well, and then at the end of the transfer window, we decide to sell our top goalkeeper that's won us 3 Champions Leagues back to back, who still has a few years left in him, who still probably 2 or 3 years left in him. And instead, we decide to go with a goalkeeper that's been misfiring for us ever since February. And that was, in some part, the demise of Solari's tenure at Real Madrid. It was the proclivity to play Thibaut Courtois game and game again, and to leave Keylor Navas on the bench. And that, I'm not going to say it was just because of that, but Courtois, he's got to be benched. He's got to be benched. I don't know if he'll come good. I do want to back him, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen with the way he's doing at the moment. I cannot back Thibaut Courtois because he doesn't give me anything to back. I mean, when you have something like that happen to you, a silly mistake like the first goal conceded was, in the way he conceded it, how can I back you? The second goal I can exonerate because, I don't feel like he couldn't do much about it. His position you could say was questionable, but couldn't do much about it. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But for the first goal, after that, downhill. But what I have to say about Real Madrid is it just wasn't surprising, to be honest. It was a nondescript performance, and that's kind of what I was expecting from Real Madrid. It's just kind of mundane, kind of, just nothing. There was nothing to. There was no players that really excited me. Maybe Eden Hazard, you could say, not even, and I don't want to say even, but. And this is the thing, a lot of people will criticize Eden Hazard maybe for not having the best of games and things like that. And I think, look, Eden Hazard, it's the second game back. I know people will want to see him hit the ground running. But what I have to say about Eden Hazard is he's a good player. He will perform, but he will have games like this. And yes, the onus is on the other players to step up their game a little bit more. It's just how it is. how can I explain? I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of difficult right now. Anugad says, is Zidane technically failing at his job? Yeah, I think questions can be brought up about Zidane at this point. I was defending him at the beginning, but now I'm starting to question it a little bit more. And then Anugad says, or is it a lack of identity with Real Madrid, age-old Galacticos philosophy being applied when it never really worked? That's a good point, Anugad. I like that. You know what? It is a bit of both, I would say. Zidane obviously tactically failing. I would say it's a mixture of both, and then we're trying to just mix a whole bunch of players and just hoping that they work out somehow, which it never really worked, to be honest. And that's what you're saying, Anugat. And I think those are two very good points. And it's a bit of both, I would have to say. It is a bit of both. Jonas163 says, it's not about motivation. Our midfield is weak and Zidane is clueless, always bringing in Lucas. Yeah, Lucas is another one who, we should have let go in the summer. But there you have it. Lucas Vazquez playing for Real Madrid. I mean, you're going to have problems when that happens. And Muhammad says Courtois should just retire. Yeah, I don't know. Christian Guerra says Militao has not been very good for us, at least not for that price tag. I knew that this year was going to be kind of up and down for Militao. I didn't expect him to hit the ground running, and we can't. I would say what I have to say about Eder Militao is I don't want to place too much pressure on him, but it's going to be up and down for him. Dinesh says, I watched worse Real Madrid. Yep, I think this has got to be one of the worst games of my life as a Real Madrid fan. I don't think it's the worst game. I've seen a lot worse games. What I would have to say is that there was just a lot of lack of hunger. I've never seen a Real Madrid that's been so devoid of hunger, of any hunger whatsoever. A Real Madrid that just don't really care. Some players obviously they do want to make their mark, but like Mendy, what I thought was very good. I didn't see much of him in the second half. I didn't see much of the second half, so I can't really give a good judgment. But what I saw in the first half, I saw Mendy, who was very good. Who are other players that maybe are potentially hungry? Obviously, Bale was good. Bale's won so many trophies, and he's still hungry, so I'm kind of surprised for that. Somewhat. Is he still hungry or he's world class? But yeah. Molson says, I feel so sad after the display. Carvajal is done. I hate to say it, but he's not the same anymore. Yeah. I've heard a lot of things from Carvajal. Yeah, and I have to say, yeah, it's going down. Brandon Oviedo says we need new midfielders and a new goalkeeper. Yep. That's actually a very good good comment, Brandon. New midfielders, new goalkeeper. That's exactly what we need, and I knew that the transfer window activity that we had was going to bite us, and now it has. It is what it is. Yeah, we've, we all alluded to this. We all alluded to the lack of midfield depth. We all knew that there was, a lack of, lack of players for those positions. As a result, we are paying. I would say, the results reflect kind of those problems that we're having in the transfer window. Gosh, I can't get my words right. Little Soccer League Academy says, "Hi guys, I'm finally back. Thank you. Can you guys give me an update on this performance? Wasn't good, man. It wasn't good. Please give me an overview of the game. Look, Courtois. People are saying he needs to retire. We can't back him anymore. Look, Courtois, we can't back him anymore. It was after that first goal for me that I think it was. I knew it was game over. I saw Keylor Navas too playing for PSG. I was like, PSG are not going to concede any goals, and that's what happened. And I would say that's one of the big problems. For me, that's what I saw subjectively. I know there were more problems than that, but for me, what stood out really is that goalkeeper situation where Keylor Navas is playing for PSG, Courtois is playing for Real Madrid. Already we start off bad. Modric and Cruz will be gone next summer, says Mosin. Yeah, Modric is going to be gone. Cruz, I don't know. I still think Cruz still has maybe a year or two left. He has something, but he's got to step it up a little bit. Yeah, I see where you're coming from, Strixnash. Yeah, it's a horrible display from Real Madrid. Yeah, it was. And Pogba Medebake in. I hope so. Dennis says, I'm sure Zidane will be sacked or leave before February. Yeah, I think I want to further assess it in December, but yeah, at the moment it's not looking good. What do you think about Jose Mourinho flirting with Madrid? I think it's, Jose Mourinho is really going to solve every problem at Real Madrid. I think the problems go a little bit deeper than that. I think Zidane, I don't want to say that Zidane is probably the problem. That's not what I want to say. But what I want to say is that, there is some things that Zidane are doing wrong, obviously. Jose Mourinho coming back, would that solve everything? It wouldn't solve everything, but I have to say maybe it would solve a few things. Would Mourinho be better than Zinedine Zidane? I think we'll have to further assess the situation come December. I think at the moment it is kind of an impulsive thing to say, you know what, I just want to get, let's fire Zidane and go with someone else. But I just want to give it a little bit more time. I know I'm probably backing him too much, but I just want to give Zidane a little bit more time. But at the moment, I can tell you it's not looking good. And Moses says not a single shot on target. Oh, man, geez, don't tell me that, Molson. Yeah, I guess so. Man, that's horrible. Just imagine if Neymar and Mbappe played today. I don't know if some people will say it would have been worse. But you know what? Maybe it played in PSG's favor that Neymar and Mbappe didn't play today, and I feel like maybe collectively they were a lot better. When Neymar and Mbappe play, I would say it's a lot more centered around them. So maybe collectively as a unit they played a lot better. I know Gabriel Lamonte alluded to that earlier. Little Soccer League Academy says we need to sell Courtois. Yes, exactly. I would like to see what Areola does. I would like to see him starting for us. I know Areola is, by no amount the best goalkeeper in the world. I know he makes mistakes. But what I have to say about Areola is I think he's a better goalkeeper than Courtois. He's a better shot stopper for sure. And yes, although he has his mistakes, you look at Courtois, man, and it's just a mistake time and time again. So, yes, Areola, I would like to see him. I knew right back Carvajal is done, although still has a squad player, so I'll not show Lucas Courtois. Yep, yeah, I would do that too. Gabriel says PSG were targeting the right-hand side a lot, and that's a good point. Actually, I did want to bring up that point. People were alluding to Carvajal not having a good display, and PSG were targeting that side a lot. I did notice that. Once they saw that Mendy was doing such a good job on that left-hand side, they really couldn't do anything past Mendy, They couldn't get past Mendy whatsoever. But Mendy's so solid. I love him as a player. And I have to say maybe going forward, he doesn't offer us as much as Marcelo. But what I have to say is defensively he is completely sound. And so, yeah, that's why, as a result, they were just targeting the hand side. They just know that the right-hand side is a little bit weak at the moment. Carvajal's not having the best, best couple of years, I guess you'd say. But yeah, good point, Gabriel. And Dinner says Benzema isn't good for UCL. What do you think of Kylian Mbappe in the stands? I mean, he is a PSG player technically, right? I can understand it. Hazard still looks unfit and rusty. Yeah, he does. I know. Benzema goal should have stood. Look, Hazard is coming back. It's only his second game, I believe, coming back. It's going to take a little bit of time. I know people will expect a lot of things from Eden Hazard. It is what it is. I've kind of expected this from Eden Hazard, where he's going to have some games where it's just not going to go so well for him. But what I have to say, that's Eden Hazard. That's Eden Hazard for you, and I know he'll get a lot of stick for it, but it is what it is. And Molson says Benzema goal should have stood. I did see that, so I'll have to go check it back. I wish I could have watched more, to be honest. Kaylor enjoyed the game tonight. He didn't do any saves this season. Exactly. Molson says 0 shots on target. Cruz is done. Don't know what happened to him. Yeah. Los Merengues TV says all that trash talking I did for this. It's all right, dude. It's all right. No worries. I know someone in the comments was trying to get to you on that, but it's all good. It's all good. Look, I didn't even expect this, to be honest, from Real Madrid. I didn't expect us to get beaten 3-0 versus PSG. Once I saw Keylor Navas starting as a goalkeeper, I was like, I wasn't so confident. And I saw Courtois starting as a goalkeeper. I almost knew we were going to lose. Noah Zancio too, come on. I know. Anugat says Zidane's man management under the tactical leadership of Carlo Ancelotti made for a strong coaching structure. Can we give Zidane a similar structure by getting a better assistant manager? Good point. I like that, Anugat. I just think sometimes that it's, if Zidane won 3 Champions Leagues back to back, I just feel like there's something we can do to support Zinedine Zidane a little bit more, but he is failing right now. He is failing. He's going to come under fire, and we'll just have to see. I don't know what's going to happen with him. He's going through a tough situation right now. Little Soccer League says, let's buy Oblak, and why the heck did we sell Navas and keep Courtois? I mean, when I saw Navas in the starting goalkeeper for for PSG, I was about to cry, man. And I think it was Holy. I'm gonna say the username. It's a username on YouTube. Holy shit. Holy shit told me that. What did he say? He said, I forgot what he said. Actually, but when I saw Keylor Navas starting for PSG, I was just about to cry, and I think it was Holy Shit who asked me if I ever cried as a football fan. I never cried, but when I saw Keylor Navas in the PSG shirt, I was just about to cry, man. I was just about to lose it. James says, "Hey man, just joined the stream. Can I get a quick recap?" Yeah, sure. We're just talking about Courtois and the situation with him. It's not going so well, and it's hard for me to back him. It's hard for anyone to back him if he's going to have performances like this. And I'm not trying you know, I would like to say I'm not trying to blame him, but yeah, after that first goal, it just went downhill. I knew Real Madrid were going to lose this when I saw Keylor Navas in goal for PSG, and then Courtois for starting for us. I just knew we were going to lose it. So that's part of the problem. Some people were saying that defensive problems, midfield problems. Lucas Vasquez, why is he playing? Things like that. So I guess that's a quick summary for you. I think that's all I can remember. Sorry if I can't give you much more. Little Soccer League Academy says, plus let's buy at least 3 or 4 midfielders. Yeah. I mean, look, yeah. You're right, Little Soccer League Academy. We do need to sell those players. Sell and ship to Deadwood. Mendy is so good. Oh, Mendy is amazing. I thought Mendy was really, really good. Yes, going forward, but the man is the best left back. Yeah, he needs to improve going forward, like you said, Little Soccer League Academy. Just a little bit. Look, I'm not too worried, but yeah, obviously I would like to see a little bit more going forward. But he's so defensively sound at the moment. I just doesn't really bother me too much. Creative content. Hey, what's up? That Bale handball. I know, man. Wow, that goal, man, that was just amazing. I would have liked to see that goal stand, but you know what? It is a handball. And do you think Benzema's offside goal should have been allowed? I didn't see it, Mohammed. I will have to go see it. So I wasn't able to watch the whole game, unfortunately, but hopefully I could give that a watch. Christian Guerrero said, sad to see that Vinicius isn't performing like people thought he would. I always knew he was going to have kind of a, I would say, I don't want to say abject, but I knew he was going to have a declivity in his, I would say, how do you say it? A declivity in his, in his development. There you go, a declivity in his development. And the reason I say that is because the second season for players always seems to be a kind of tempestuous one where it doesn't go so well for these kinds of players. So Vinicius, I think his second season will not be a good season at all for him. I'm not expecting much from him this season. However, what I would like to see from Vinicius, I would like to see him get some playing time, whether that's at Real Madrid or somewhere else. I would like to see him get playing time and time again, because the thing with Vinicius at the moment is that he's just not getting a lot of playing time. He's not able to develop as a player, and as a result, that will hamper his development, and we can't have that for Vinicius. He's potentially a very good player, so I would like to see him play a little bit more. Courtois was a clown. Andre Lunin could have done better, says Los Merengues TV. I know. I think Lunin would have done I don't want to say fantastic job, but he would have done a million times better. Pogba instead of Cruz, says creative content. Yeah, don't cry, David. Can't blame Di Maria for celebrating after the way we kicked him out of the club. I don't blame him either, to be honest. I was thinking of that, actually. When I saw him celebrate, I was like, why is he celebrating? And then I realized, well, we kicked him out of the club, just like we kicked Keylor Navas out of the club, just like we kicked Iker Casillas out of the club. I can't blame him. So, sorry. Yeah, it is what it is. And Little Soccer League Academy, honestly, we're Real Madrid. We need to be cutthroat. Exactly. If Zidane delivered us 3 Champions League, he did something right despite the... Exactly. That's a very good point, Little Soccer League Academy. Thank you for that. So Perez needs to step it up in the market. I feel like the blame does fall a little bit on Perez. I would actually say a lot. Just because, look, at the moment, goalkeeping situation, bad. Midfield, we don't have any midfielders. Zidane wasn't back fully in the transfer market, bad. So you could put the blame on Florentino Perez. Zidane, obviously, tactically inept. It's almost 50-50. I just want to give it 50-50. Jonas says, Varane and Cruz should be sold. They ain't that great anymore. Yep, I almost want to say the same thing, but that's going to have to come in the future. I think that's going to have to be a little bit of a rebuild process, but they do need to find some form. However, at the moment, we have these players at our disposal. They have to be able to find some form, because if not, we're just going to go through an abject season. Creative content says, I knew that we would need a star center back like Koulibaly, Skriniar, or De Ligt. We shouldn't have been conceding goals from players like Di Maria. Exactly. Di Maria, I mean, why are we conceding goals from him like that? It is kind of weird, Skriniar, how to gun for Skriniar, if anyone. Los Merengues TV says, Courtois seems like that kid who has an influential dad at school, gets him in a spot in the school soccer team. I love this comment. Let me just repeat the comment, actually. Los Merengues TV says, Courtois seems like that kid who has an influential dad at school who gets him a spot in the school soccer team, whereas the case is the dad himself is a better player with non-sporting background. That's a good comment. Yeah, I mean, Courtois, he's a very grandiloquent player. What I mean by that, he just loves to boast about himself. He loves to gloat, about his, his time with Chelsea, his trophies, a top goalkeeper, but at the moment, dude, you're not doing it. You're not doing it at Real Madrid. You haven't proved anything. I mean, this guy loves to glow. As much as he loves to go, he's got to prove something. Little Soccer League Academy says, Jovic, what the hell is going on? And also, Vinicius isn't performing. I mean, look at the likes of Mbappe, Sancho, Fati. I think we need to loan Vinicius. That's been going around the tabloids a lot that Jovic, not that Jovic, but that Vinicius hasn't performed at the level that maybe Joao Felix has and Mbappe, and they're all the same age relatively. But I have to say, look, man, everyone kind of develops in their own due time. Vinicius will develop later on. We should have loaned Vinicius. I always knew that. It is what it is. We have Vinicius right now. Hopefully he can get some playing time. What I would like to see, obviously, is a loan for him in January. But at the moment, it is what it. Like I said, it is what it is. We have to. I don't want to say stick with him, but hopefully we can see him play a little bit more. But we can't. I know we have to be cutthroat at Real Madrid, and I knew that Vinicius wasn't going to be so good this season. So I would have always liked a loan for him, but in hindsight, it's very easy to say. Gabriel says y'all need Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka. I like the guy. I think Wan-Bissaka at Real Madrid. I would like to see more what he has to offer at Manchester United. I'd like to see the consistency. However, so far, what I have to say about Wan-Bissaka is he has done such a great job at Manchester United. I think if I see more displays from that at Manchester United, as much as I'm apprehensive about English players, I would take him. And the reason that is because he's very good. He's very defensively sound. It's like having another Mendy. The only problem is going forward. Going forward, where do you have? There's no drive going forward. Wan-Bissaka very defensively strong and Mendy very defensively strong. So, yeah, that's what I have to say. Maybe as a quibble. Dinesh says, in the last game against Levante, they scored 2 goals, and both goals scored by old Real Madrid players. And now, when you have Benzema scoring for Real Madrid time and time again, you kind of feel like there's a problem at Real Madrid. You don't want to depend on Benzema to score all your goals throughout a season because Benzema is inconsistent. He's not going to score all the time. He's a playmaker and a scorer. He'll get you 20 goals a season, but the goals have to come from somewhere else too. Yeah, it is what it is. There you go. Sorry if I can't pronounce your name. I'm sorry about that. Strikshna, there you go. I think that's good. Strikshna says, let's Marcus TV after that video or meme mate. Nah, let's not. And let's not be too hostile, right? Let's not be too hostile. Let's try to vindicate him a little bit. Let's Marcus TV. Look, man, at the end of the day, it is what it is. It is a bit of banter. We tried it. It bit us back, but you know what? It's a bit of banter. Creative Content says, let's get Joao Felix next season as a replacement for Benzema. Not yet, Creative Content. I know Joao Felix just came to Atletico Madrid, so I know he's not going to want to move. Of course, I think if it was my decision, I would go for him. I think he's a fantastic player. It's a big mistake we didn't go for him, but in hindsight, it's very easy to say that we should have gone for him. Little Soccer League Academy says, I hear we have a pact with Mbappe to sign with PSG, and we have already paid 35 million to PSG and plan to 290 for Mbappe. That's a bit too much, man. I like Mbappe. As much as I like him, I would not pay that much to have him. I know people would pay extortionate amounts of money to have him, but I think as much as I like Mbappe, I would never pay over what Neymar was. I would never overpay for Mbappe. As good as he is, I feel like there's so many players out there at the moment that they're just less money. We don't have to get on our knees for Mbappe. There's other players out there. Kubo, Odegaard. I know they're not right wingers technically, but there's other players out there. I guess that's what I mean. But hey, Mbappe, of course he would be good for Real Madrid. Los Merengues TV says, Mohammed says, I want to see Rodrigo get some play time. I would like to see that. I think, Rodrigo maybe wouldn't have changed anything in this game, but I do agree with you. Rodrigo getting some playing time would be good. However, he is coming from Brazil. I think it's good for him to get some playing time and develop in Castilla. And I just think the reason that is because at Real Madrid, the pressure is immense. And I can't stress that enough, that if you're going to chuck these players into a first team at Real Madrid who's under pressure week in, week out, it's going to be very, I would say, detrimental to their mental health. And as a result of that, it's very traumatic. It's very traumatic. Let's say let's say there's let's say I would say I'm going to try to come up with an example here. Let's say you're at school, right? And the teacher, asks you to present on the spot. And she's like, I want to see a good presentation from you on the spot right now. Come on, let's go. So the teacher brings you up, has you present in front of the class. You have to come up with a real good presentation. You've practiced your presentations, but you have to come up with a good presentation. It's in front of all these, let's say, PhD students who know so much about what you're going to be talking about. And you have to put up a good presentation. And if you don't put up a good presentation, then let's say, you're screwed. Your whole career is screwed. And for a lack of a better word. And so Rodrigo, what I'm saying is that if you chuck Rodrigo into first team of Real Madrid, who's just under immense pressure, I think it could be a little bit too much. So that's good to see Rodrigo getting some playing time in Castilla. I think it'll be a better way of developing him. And Creative Content says, what do you think about James Rodriguez return? Amazing for sure, definitely amazing. I think James Rodriguez, I would have always liked to see him play more for Real Madrid. Unfortunately, it hasn't worked out, but amazing. Dinesh says, Courtois is always feared when opponent attacking our penalty box, see his face, and also he closes his eyes, Madrid curse. Close his eyes, man. If you tell me he closes his eyes on those things, man, we're absolutely cursed already that it's not going so well with his eyes open. Creative Content, so we should go for Kimmich. He is the best right back in the world. A lot of people have been saying that. Thank you for bringing that up. A lot of people have been talking about Kimmich. I really didn't know much about him. But if you guys have all been saying that, then it must be for a reason. So Kimmich, I would say let's keep him at the top of the priority list. Little Soccer League Academy says we need to do partially with him, with what we did with Odegaard and loan him. Yep, exactly. Very good point. Real Madrid fan says low 3-0. I was excited to see the match. Yep, Real Madrid will not go anywhere, says Real Madrid fan, with this squad waiting for Mbappe and Pogba next summer. Yeah, it's going to be a season where we're not going to do much. And Anugat says Real Madrid at its lowest since Mourinho. How about it blame and a lack of identity for being shared by Florentino Perez? Yes, exactly, Anugat. And also, will he let our young talent shine at Madrid, or will he bring more big name signings? I have no idea. I really don't know what's going to happen. And yeah, like you're saying, Anugat, it's very much a lack of identity right now. I think Florentino Perez, what he had in mind is just bringing out all this young talent, hoping something works. I think what he wanted is just bringing out all this young talent, hoping something works. I think we'll have some players that will end up working. I think we'll bring a couple big names, so it's going to be a mix of the two. Creative Content says Mbappe contract will be finished by 2021. Let's hope so. But for 300 million, I feel like it's too much. We definitely need to buy more players. Left back style Nacho, at least buy 2 or 3 world-class center backs, a right winger and a midfielder. Yep, I definitely agree. Buy players at left back. Left back, I don't think so. I think we're fine. Reguilon's coming back. Marcelo, Mendy. I think we'll be fine. Little Soccer League Academy, but I would agree with you on the other ones. Center back, I would agree, and a right winger, of course, and a midfielder. Sounds like Manchester United almost. Creative Content says at least it was an entertaining match. I guess it was. For the neutral, right? James says, great minds think alike. Let's see. Les Merengues TV says, brother, everyone's pouncing on me. Let's not bounce on Les Merengues TV, man. Like, Les Merengues TV, like, I can understand the overconfidence. I thought we were going to win, to be honest. I thought the history was with us. I thought that because of the history, it was going to serve as a bit of, it was going to serve as some impetus to perform in this game, but no way. The opposite, I would say. Our history was really, I don't want to say our downfall, but our history kind of led us to this result. And what I mean by that is, the players made it. This batch of players have already made their mark at Real Madrid, or some of these players, and as a result, bam, down the drain. John says James doesn't fit under Zinedine Zidane at all unless they play against Real Madrid teams. Contentious point, but we'll have to see. I think that's not a bad point, though. We'll have to see, but that's not a bad point. I like that you're going against the status quo. Little Soccer League Academy says my transfer plan for Real Madrid is sell Courtois, buy Oblak. That's a good one. Buy Sancho, Havertz, Mbappe, and Ansu Fati. That's like a FIFA thing, but technically, yeah. I would say wait on Ansu Fati. Pogba I would buy. And the reason I say that is just because I haven't seen anything from him at Juventus that he really made me question him. At Manchester United, I've seen tons of things that made me question him, but I think he's a world-class player. Fabian Ruiz is a player I think we should have gone before. Donny van de Beek, yes, world-class right back, and we should consider Perez. This January transfer and upcoming Santa transfer window is going to be monumental for us. Yeah, it is. It is seriously. It kind of is, but I have to say is that in January, I don't think any transfer activity will be made, and the reason I say that is just because we don't get much done in the January transfer window, and I don't think it's really that important to buy any players in the January transfer window. I don't think it changes too many things around, is what I have to say. Little Soccer League Academy says, just saying, do any of you guys particularly know David, know any other Real Madrid fan channels? Yes, actually, thank you for bringing that up, Little Soccer League Academy. Los Merengues TV has a Real Madrid fan channel. If you want to subscribe to him, he's got a few things. But besides that, I don't really know of anything else. I know I was talking about kind of, I don't want to say shutting down the channel, but what I want to say is that it is tough for me to continue this channel. So I'm gonna say probably in the next few months I would like definitely a successor or something like that. For a kind of Real Madrid fan channel, because at the moment I think it's very, very difficult to be continuing this channel. Little Soccer League Academy, if you want to do it, I would encourage you to do it, because right now at the moment there's a scarcity of it. There's no Real Madrid fan channels out there, and I think there's a need for one. Los Merengues TV says, on the first goal conceded, no one tracked Di Maria's run into the box. And nowhere, exactly. I think Di Maria had too much space on the ball, too much space. No one expected that goal to go in, really, but I think he did have a little bit of space in that there. Eder Militao, I felt, gave him a little bit too much space. He really should be cutting that. Really, if anything, he should be closing down Di Maria. I feel like Di Maria was giving too much space in that first goal. But yeah, Courtois, like you said, Los Merengues TV was horrible. Shake my head when I saw that. Me too. It's tough, man. It's tough. Creative contest, we need a whole new squad. I think to some extent we do, but I think that's just going to take a little bit of time. And I think the reason we need a whole new squad is because the players have won so much. I mean, their mark at Real Madrid, and it's just now time to move on. Dinesh says Fabian Ruiz is best Cruz or Modric replacement. I agree. I think at Real Betis from Fabian Ruiz was an amazing player. Dani Ceballos and Fabian Ruiz were the two players I remember a few years ago that were coming up. And we bought Dani Ceballos, but we didn't buy Fabian Ruiz. And probably now in hindsight, we should have bought him. Ceballos, I think he'll have a good season at Arsenal. But Fabian Ruiz, definitely we should have bought him. Jonas says, you don't always. Oh, thank you so much, Jonas. I really appreciate that. I will have to see what I can do. You could upload some videos. Yeah, I'll have to see. It's just I like going live, but yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. I'll try to upload videos. I'll see what I can do. And Dennis says solution is get Klopp or Pochettino. A lot of people have been saying that lately. That at the moment it's just like Zinedine Zidane is being questioned a lot. And look, technically he is inept. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Tactically he is inept. His man management is good. We all know that. Going up. Winning all these trophies. Obviously, how can I say this? Winning all these trophies. It was a reflection of that man management, but tactically it wasn't a reflection of that. And as a result, he'll have to learn the tactical part of the game. It's not going to be easy. Real Madrid is under immense pressure week in, week out. He can't do it at Real Madrid probably, but I hope he turns things around. I would like to see it. I would like to wait till December to see what happens, but I think at the moment, it's just not Zidane. It's really, it's the players, it's the players. I feel like Zidane, yes, he is partially to blame. It's the players, it's the board. There's a lot of problems right now. There's a lot of problems. The lack of hunger within the squad. Zinedine Zidane's tactical ineptness, for lack of a better word. And Florentino Perez, just this stubbornness about him. And, the transfer activity. It really went bad, towards the latter stages of it. Let's see here. So Los Merengues TV says, me and David are legitimate Real Madrid fan channels. Thank you for that. David is very humble. Don't worry. No. We need some confident players, or some confident people. So want to see more interactive. It's David. Guys, Real Madrid also need to consider keeping Perez. Also, we need to back Zidane. I think backing Zidane for a little longer would be good. However, I think if we don't see improvements, then I think there will come a time where I will say, you know what, it's not working out, and we'll have to get a new manager, and that manager could be Mourinho. I think I think Mourinho could be the next on my list, believe it or not. What I've said about Mourinho is I don't want him near the team. What I have to say at the moment, considering everything that's going on at Real Madrid, is I think Mourinho could be good for us. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I would assess it further in December, but yeah, if Zidane doesn't improve, yeah, I'll go for someone else. I want to give it a little bit more time. I want to give it till December at least. Militao isn't living to expectations. Do you guys have any recommendations about what to do for Militao? Militao is going to have an up and down season. He's barely coming into La Liga. He looks good, I would have to say. It's going to take a little bit of time. Got to be a little bit patient. I think it's really in the second season where we can say, is it Militao? Is Militao going to be a flop? Is he going to come good for Real Madrid? That's the real question. At the moment, I'm going to vindicate him. And the reason I say that is just because he's young. He's coming from Portuguese league. It's different. There's a lot of factors, a lot of existential factors, I would say, for lack of a better word. Accommodating or assimilating to the culture, like Courtois says, and a lot of things. So Militao, just give him a little bit of time. Los Barangets TV says, wants some skits, cocky rants, analysis, or a bit of diverse stuff. Just smashes. That would be me. I'm going to show that. Sorry about that. And Dinner says, Sancho Mbappe, Fabian Ruiz Pogba, Skriniar, Ruben Diaz, Oblak, Donnarumma. Those are nice shouts, Dinesh, I have to say. A lot of people have been saying Sancho. For me, always Sancho. I'm always trepidatious with Sancho. But I have to say, look, Jadon Sancho is a world-class player. Not world-class player. He's potentially world-class is what I want to say. Mbappe, world-class player. Fabian Ruiz, potentially world-class. But yes, at Real Betis, he was doing already good. Pogba, inconsistent at Manchester United, but I think he could come good at Madrid. Skriniar, I would take in a heartbeat. Ruben Diaz, I think Ruben Diaz is still a bit young, but I haven't seen much from him, so I can't give a good judgment on that. Oblak, I would take in a heartbeat. Donnarumma, I haven't seen much of him, so I can't say. And Jonas says Mourinho would be perfect in my opinion. I think so too, actually. Believe it or not, I can't believe I'm saying that, but I think Mourinho at this moment would be perfect. So Little Soccer League Academy says Zidane tactically is not enough, needs to improve, but I would like to see him stay and potentially get a new president. Also, we need to bag Zidane on the market. New president, it's probably not going to happen. However, what I have to say, hopefully the president gets a better job done. But yeah, I mean, look, our president's decent. It's just that sometimes he'll do stupid stuff, and one of them is Courtois. Ostracizing Keylor Navas from the team. Stupid. Not bolstering up the midfield. Stupid. But he did a lot of good things, but those stupid things are leading to his downfall. Mohammed says I would even take Gattuso as a manager. Oh, I wouldn't have to say. But yeah, I think you're. I know what you're alluding to, Mohammed, and I think that's a good point. It's that character. It's that character that you want, and yeah, I feel like maybe we're missing a bit of character, and we had Ancelotti as a soft coach, Zidane as a soft coach. That's about 5 years of softness. We need someone to kind of say, you know what, ponte las pilas, as you would say in Spanish, and just how can I say it? Perform week in, week out, because if not, I'm gonna drop you. And I can understand where you're coming from. We do need someone like that. And Mohammed says, is Mariano still playing for Real Madrid? I was thinking about that just not too long ago. I'm not even sure with Mariano. I'm so sad for Mariano. I would love to see him play more. I don't know why we spent, as much as I think Jovic has a potential to be a good player, I don't understand why you spent money on the striker position. If we had Mariano and Raul Tomas coming up, we could have played those two as strikers, but in hindsight, it is what it is. Dinesh Kumar says, Courtois, Nacho, Odriozola, Vasquez isn't Madrid standard. Yeah. Odell says, suck, please. Yeah. Little Soccer League Academy says, also, if Zidane can't do well, I would like to get Klopp and maybe even Gattuso. Also, pertaining to the transfer market, we're very interested in Havertz and Sancho. Yeah. I mean, yeah, if Zidane doesn't do good, yeah, I think we'll have to do something else. I think I would like to wait a little bit more. There's a few problems, like I said. There's a few problems. Some of it is the players, some of it is the board, and some of it is the coach. It's not 100% Zinedine Zidane, but we do need. I don't want to say we need someone else yet. I'm gonna wait on it, but yeah, it is a little bit worrying. And Havertz and Sancho, like I said, Sancho, I'm not sure, but a lot of people have been telling me that, and I think it's just old school mentality. I think I need to open my mind up and say, you know what, Sancho could be world class. Could be world class at Real Madrid. And Christian Guerrero says Perez makes too many stupid decisions. The biggest one, getting rid of Cristiano. Yes, exactly. I think that was a stupid decision. Yeah. I can understand it in some way, but it was not smart from him. It was not smart, especially the way we got rid of him. Yeah, exactly. And it wasn't the smartest of ideas because how do you replace those goals? And really, Perez should be kind of thinking about that. He never really thought about it. So, yeah, that is one thing. That is one thing. And you're right, Christian Guerrero. He does do things that sometimes you're just like, why the heck did he do that? And it is what it is. But you know what? At least we don't have a president like Manchester United and Arsenal, right? I think those are the two presidents that really come up to mind. Where I'm just like, got horrible presidents. And Little Soccer League Academy says we need to improve all over the field, and Mariano is going to be sold in the future. I think so too, unfortunately. I hope Mariano deserves better than this. I feel like it's such bad treatment. And buy a world-class striker, Mbappe in the future. Fleeks the guy is going to be a world beater, and Jadon Sancho. Yeah, there you go. So that's all I got for you guys today. I'm going to end it right there. Man, already 41 minutes. Oh my gosh. RIP to the people who are going to watch this pre-recorded. But there you have it. Those are pretty much my thoughts. Actually, those are your thoughts about the game. So overall, just to succinctly recap, it's going to be Real Madrid. We deserved it. We were absolutely crap tonight. Not good enough. A lot of players oversatiated. No hunger in the team. Zidane tactically inept. Transfer activity at the end, abject. Beginning was good. End was abject. We knew this was going to happen. We hoped it was not going to happen. But in the back of our minds, we kind of knew it was going to happen. Gabriel Labonte says, Newcastle have crap president. There you go. And Anugat says, sacking Del Bosque was the ultimate disrespect Zidane showed. There you go. That's a good one. Anugat, I like that. Which ushered 3 trophyless seasons. After letting Ronaldo go, have we entered I think so. I think not a dry era, but yes, an era where it's going to be, I would say, like the 2010, 2013 seasons. And yes, we did win La Liga in 2011, but it is kind of like up and down. And James says, bye, David. See ya, James. Take care. Have a good day. Little Soccer League Academy says, getting rid of Courtois, Ronaldo, and in that year, we received 120 million proposal for Bale. Yeah, in hindsight, I think for the Bale one, I don't want to give too much stake for that Bale one, but I can understand it in hindsight. Dinner says, is the player assisted most last season? Sancho is the player assisted most last season. 15 assists. More than anyone in the top 5 European league. For me, is already world class. That's a good tally. That's a good tally. And he played in the German league. So my rationale is just there's a lot of fallacies to it. And what I have to say is that to have those kinds of players, to have those kinds of stats already at that age, very, very good. Very, very good. I think I want to change my mind on Jadon Sancho now. I think he could be world class for us. Little Soccer League Academy says I think we need to buy 2 or 3 center backs. I mean world class center backs. We don't and we need a right back. Yeah. Will you do a preview for the Sevilla game? I think so. I think I could do that one. Yeah, I will be doing a match preview. Make sure to follow the Instagram. I hate promoting this. Make sure to follow the Instagram, blancosfantv. That's where I pretty much tell you if I go live or not. And if you want, you can turn on the notifications on for the channel as well. I think that's really the only way. Because as of right now, like I said, my schedule is a bit Byzantine. It's all over the place. So, yeah, I would say just turn on the notifications. Sorry, I can't give you a better explanation, but there you go. So that's all I have for you guys. I'm going to end it right there. Thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. It is a tough situation for Real Madrid, but you know what? Let's go forward. Let's go forward. Jonas says, I don't use important Instagram. Good for you, Jonas. I don't use Instagram either unless it's for the channel, unfortunately. I don't have social media, to be honest. I don't have my personal social media. But there you go. Little Soccer League Academy says, also we have a lot of quality loans. Yeah, we do. So we do need to realize that. I like that. And let's see. So there you go. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be doing the match preview for Real Madrid. So yeah, just make sure to turn on the bell or something like that. So thank you guys for watching, and have a good one wherever you're at.